Now, today I got some games in, but to be fair, okay, hello everyone, welcome back to the Wolfpack. So excited to see you all as always. Welcome back to another episode of the daily vlog. This whole bag right here was actually given. So there are games coming into the collection, but I didn't purchase anything. I did have to purchase this one though, and this is mostly for work. So the only game that I purchased for work, and you'll see why in a second, is Santorini, and I guess they came out with a second edition. I totally forgot about that. So the reason why is because I somehow misplaced an entire bag of the little houses in here. All right, don't judge me here, but this is very practical. Now Santorini includes these set of houses, and with these houses there's a middle piece that is perfect for holding up cards for taking pictures. For instance, when you have just one of these cards, so many things are going on during a shoot, but somehow things are always missing. So what this house piece does is that it allows you to put cards like this. So I know I'm just holding it on a platform, but I don't have a table in front of me right now. So now you can't tell that cards are standing up on its own, and I just love this look. This is probably my first ever board game specific piece, and I couldn't find a single thing that I liked. At least in the beginning, I didn't like any kind of card holders, I didn't like sticky tack, I didn't like tape. Nothing was practical. And then I turned around and realized, shoot, I have a copy of Santorini, and let me just grab these little houses here, and it ended up that these are the perfect card holders for any situation. They're small, they hold up enough of the card, that way they don't fall backwards. So this is gonna be amazing for shoots, which I will need for this weekend. Now the second thing is I was just at the op hanging out with a bunch of other content creators, and at the op they showed us a bunch of their new games upcoming and also some new games that are out right now. This is not a sponsored vlog, but I was given this really cool bag of games that actually everything in here I got a chance to play or at least film while people were playing. So the first, let's do the big one. This is the one I was the most excited about. I've heard so many things about this one, and just seeing everyone post about this makes me super excited because the team also behind them is one that I'm a fan of, and I'm sure you're a fan of as well. Tea Witches. This is a worker placement game where you're sending out your teapups to gather different types of teas and ingredients for you to put onto your little shop here, and then you turn them in order to serve different tea witches. And you want to make them loyal, and the more loyal teas that you have, then the more that you score at the end of the game. This is actually a lot heavier than it looks. There's actually a lot going on here. I actually thought this was gonna be as light as Flamecraft. This is nothing like Flamecraft, and there's just a lot going on. Now the second one here, oh my goodness, I love this one. This one actually surprised me a ton. I'll be giving my full thoughts about it in a bit once I get this played a little more. But Fountains is awesome because you have these, I forget what was it, foam core. On your turn, you move these pawn pieces around, and at each location, there are different ways for you to score. So like if you move the green pawn over here to the green location, then you're gonna score lily pads. But then when you move that pawn to a certain spot, you're gonna gain one of those foam core pads, and then you are ultimately building up a fountain. Now there are a lot of different ways to score because you score for the amount of pools you have, the types of fish you have, the color of the fish, and even how you connect your fountains together. The gameplay is super straightforward. Move a pawn, grab a tile, but the complexity lies in how you want to maximize your scoring. And what I love about this game is just how beautifully done it is, and also how future forward thinking you have to be to plan out the types of tiles that you're scoring, and also the types of tiles that everyone else is scoring too. Because you don't want to go around and score a bunch of lily pads if someone else is going to be scoring more lily pads than you. So Fountain surprised me a ton. Super excited about this game. And I think that was, to be honest, this was my favorite game that I played today. So we also got a deluxe upgrade kit for Tea Witches. This tiny little box here is called Cat Between Us. It is seemingly, deceptively simple, but there's a ton of math in this game, and you have to think a lot about how everyone else is playing. Because what you're trying to do is have your cat move the furthest across rounds, then you want to make sure that you get your score as close to 18 as possible. And how you do that is you count the cards in your hand, which are all numbers, and you also count the cards of the suits that are listed here. But there was a lot of chaos in this one, and what makes me want to play this the most is realizing that you have to calculate out what everyone else is playing on their turn. That way you don't overscore, and then you're able to catch up to the main cat as fast as you can, because if you don't, then you get left behind. What makes me want to play it is seeing how the catch-up mechanics work when someone's in the lead. The op also gave us a fanny pack to go home. So I just thought that was a very nice touch. Thank you to everyone at the op for providing us with such a cool day and for all these awesome games. Can't wait to get them played. If you made it to the end, go ahead and comment Lily for all the cool little pads that we're scoring at the end of the game for fountains. Thank you all so much for watching and for checking out my little haul over here. To be fair, I've played 3 of these games already, so I'm really only adding 1 game to my shelf of unplayed games. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow morning.